Hey, yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy, Evan, one half of MF Pearl. We got the other half behind the cameras making sure that we rolling. We got David.
Hey everyone.
Yeah. And you know where we be at. We be at the stew doing our thing out here. We got another episode. You know what it is. Live at MFHQ. Disclaimer. Live at MFHQ is in fact not recorded live. It's actually a pre-recorded program. This episode contains really explicit content, so feel free to do what you wish with that information. If you could be so kind of like, follow, and subscribe for me. We go a very long way. New episodes every Wednesday. Now back to the show. Let's see here real quick. That should be good. Today we got homegirl. You know what it is. Legends only. Same shit all the time. When I say that legends only. Like I said, homegirl. I've been able to go ahead and see her frequently, almost like at least once a week. Met her a while back. And then met her even further back. I don't even know if you remember. It was at, I think, Revolution Fitness. But she's been going ahead and giving women confidence. And as of late, lots of men too, because men showed up lately. But once again, my friend, we got Jovy Castillo in the stew. Jovy, how are you?
I'm feeling good.
You are
feeling real good.
You are preed up at the moment?
A little bit. Yeah, it's been a long morning.
Today, did you have classes or did you just do some training on your own?
Yeah, I had some clients earlier. I had a couple of girls come in the morning, and then after that I trained, and then after that I ate really quickly, had a good little breakfast, and I came over here. Yeah.
And then when I mentioned that guys lately have been showing up, what I'm trying to refer to, at least from my perspective, because I don't know like all the time, but your boot camp.
Yep. That you did.
Yeah. David did it too.
Yeah.
I was so.
Yeah, you both did. Yeah. For sure, a lot of guys showed up.
It was
that
those
was the
stretches.
first. The stretches, the mobility.
Yeah, that's
that
what
was
got me
just
sore.
the beginning.
I know
that was the warm up.
I was so stiff.
Yeah, it feels good though. It's important to do that stuff, and that's something I'm passionate about. But yeah, I had about 11 guys that signed up, and I've had in the past, past boot camps like 4 guys, 5 guys, but this time it was 11. So I was really happy, including my dad. And then you guys saw Mr. Hall, the gentleman. It was his birthday the next day.
Yeah.
So I think he was turning 73 or 75. I can't remember. But yeah, it was awesome. It felt really good to see all these men come over and, support, and just show up for each other too. You guys were all pumping each other up, and it was super, super fascinating to like just watch you guys do that. And I do train men too, but just a couple.
Yeah,
mainly women, but I have 2 male clients that I train.
Did you were you always open to training men, or was it?
I was.
How long did it take till you had your first male client? Not that long.
No, not long ago. No, I had, I think, 2 male clients when I first started, forever ago. But they how to explain this? They loved my training. But after a while, I think that they were just like ready to be on their own, and that's what I do. I try to train people to, get them to a certain level to where they can work out on their own and they don't need me. So that's kind of what happened. Yeah. But I'm open to training anybody.
When you say forever ago, like what does that really look like? Because when did you first start training?
2013.
2013?
Yes. Yeah, 2013. It's been a decade, dude. It's been a decade. It's been a lot of knowledge, a lot of growth, a lot of, growing pains too, a lot of, getting humbled and starting from scratch again. I moved to California. I came back. There's just been so much that has happened in the past 10 years, and I'm grateful for everything, for sure.
What was the moment in your own personal fitness that you were for sure about, I wanna coach other people to get fit?
Well, I first started working out
because at your
middle
boot
school.
Camp, you said that your dad's the one that got you into the weightlifting. Is that
Yeah.
Is that the beginning of working out, or
That
is that
was
just the beginning of weightlifting?
Beginning of working out, period.
okay.
During school, growing up, going to middle school, high school, I always tried different sports. So I even tried wrestling. I was in that. I tried basketball. I sucked, so I became the manager for basketball in high school for the guys. What else did I do? I did swimming, but I sucked, so I didn't finish that. I just tried it. It didn't work out. I tried softball. I've tried everything.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Bachelor.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Bachelor. And I actually went to Eastwood for a little bit.
First?
No.
After?
Bachelor
You
first.
graduated at Eastwood?
No.
Wait,
Bachelor.
where?
So
So you
I
went
went
back
to
and
high.
forth?
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. I don't
Okay.
know how I did that or why I did that, but I went to Bel Air for my freshman and I went my freshman year and then the beginning of my sophomore year. I was like, I want to try something new. I'm kind of bored, like,
Mhm.
and I want to meet new people. For some reason, I don't know how, I convinced my parents to move me to Eastwood for one semester. Okay, and then after that first semester of my sophomore year, I wasn't really feeling it too much and I missed everybody at Bel Air. So I was like, Mom and Dad, can you please move me back? And they said, yeah. So I moved back to Bel Air and I just showed up and I just picked up where I left off.
Like after winter break?
Exactly. So
Okay.
right when winter, like the next semester was starting in December
Mhm.
or January,
Yeah, I think it's
I
January.
went straight back to Bel Air and then I graduated from there. So I finished sophomore, junior, senior and graduated from there. Yeah.
So a little bit
Hmm.
of wrestling, a
Dude,
little bit
yeah.
of basketball, little bit of basketball,
Little bit.
and then some swimming.
Yep.
Did you do
And
track or anything like
flags.
that?
Yeah, I did that in middle school. That was fun.
Track or cross country?
Track.
Track.
Yeah, that was hurdles. That was a lot of
Ooh.
fun. Oh, I loved it.
At 5'1", 6'4".
I'm 6'4" in spirit, but I'm 5'1.5" on most days.
Does the spirit know it's 6'4" when you're hurdling? Was it like
Yeah, she knew that. Yeah,
okay,
for
okay,
sure, she
so
knew
you're
that.
just gliding over those things?
It
Were
was
you good
fun.
at track?
I was alright. I was alright.
I don't know if I did track in
I
middle
just
school.
enjoy
I
it.
don't think
Oh,
we had
really?
track. Was there a track in
Oh
middle
yeah,
school,
for
or was
sure.
it
I
just
did
cross
track in
country?
middle school. No,
I'm sure you had both.
Oh, you know what there was? Cause yeah, I did some
I'm
track.
sure you had both. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, I mean, I've tried all sports. My dad got me into lifting weights since middle school.
Mm-hmm.
I just kept on doing that in the garage, like by myself, just working out, because it was fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was before it was trending or before it was cool, like before I could post about it,
Yeah, I was about to. Okay, yeah.
Before I could post about it, I just enjoyed working out so much, and it brought me a sense of like discipline and a sense of, I guess for me, like it's more mental
Mm-hmm.
when I work out. It helps me with my mental health, so I do it for that too.
So you knew
Hmm.
that like straight from um after high school. Then
Hmm.
how far along do you go before, like I said, like you go ahead and start to? I'm gonna coach someone about this.
You know what? I
Do
had
people
been
just kind of
told.
ask you?
Well, yeah, people had asked me like, "Hey, like, are you gonna personal train? Because I would love for you to train me." Or I had people that were, gym owners that kind of took me under their wing. They
Mm-hmm.
said, "Jovi, I think you need to start personal training." And I said, "Okay, fine. It's been a few years of working out. I'll try it."
Were you out of high
So
school already?
I was out of high school.
Okay.
Yeah, I was out of high school, and so I just started shadowing a couple of trainers, and then from there I just started training others. Got
Is
my
it-
certification and stuff like that, and then it was just off from there. So yeah, since 2013.
So it's safe to say that because of influence, in a way, your career kind of shifted a bit. Like you were encouraged to like.
Big time. Yeah, I was super encouraged.
What were your early dreams? Like what did you want to do before that? Was there a shift or was it always in the form of like fitness?
I mean, I would say it was always fitness, but initially I wanted to be a fitness model. I wanted to be in magazines. That was my dream for a little while. Like I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be a fitness model. I wanted to travel the world and be on magazines. I was a little delulu. I was a little delulu. But, I started doing photo shoots with like, different photographers, videographers, and I did that for a little bit and it kind of like I guess scratched
Yeah.
my itch of wanting to be in magazines, and I think after that I started really falling in love with training others, and that became more important to me after a while. And then I also realized like, maybe being in magazines isn't all you think it is, cuz you have to be like shredded all year long, which is really it's pretty unhealthy, cuz you're going to have to get on something to be at that level and look so lean all the time, and then you're going to feel kind of crappy. You're not going to have a lot of energy, but you're going to look amazing.
Mm-hmm.
super taxing.
Super taxing on your body. So yeah, that was my dream for a while. Then it shifted to like training others, and then I just started focusing on that. I think fitness was always in me, for sure. It's always been in my soul, something I love.
You still get to have fun with photo shoots and everything like that still,
For sure. I have
without
so much fun.
without such the taxing
Hmm.
effort. You've done like a would you say that wanting to go in that space, being a fitness model,
Hmm.
is just as demanding as doing a like a bodybuilding competition? Because you've done some sort of competition, right?
I used to do
remember
yeah, and that was
bodybuilding.
that was
It's
my
called?
other dream, yeah.
Okay.
I did want to be a professional bodybuilder, but within the category of bikini. It's I would say the most like soft slash most feminine division in bodybuilding. Now it's changed and it's transformed into something else. So now it's a lot more muscle on those bikini girls. But yeah, initially I wanted to be a fitness model and a professional bodybuilder. So that was my dream for a little while too. But again, after that, I just really, really fell in love with training others. And that was more important to me than being on magazines or traveling the world and doing competitions. Because that stuff is also real expensive. You're going to spend so much money on that stuff. Traveling, bikinis, the jewelry, the tan.
Jewelry, you said?
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, it's all out. It's your heels, it's your jewelry, it's your suit that has
That's
all these like
right.
stones
That's
on
right.
them. And sometimes they can come out to like $1,000. It is
Dang.
wild. Mm-hmm.
The tanning's crazy too, huh? Because you
Oh,
have to
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you want a good tan.
Yeah.
Because all that's part of the competition. It's not just, man. Um,
Mm-hmm.
how does your training evolve? Are you the same trainer? I know what you're gonna answer. I'm literally just okay. It's a little rhetorical. Like, are
It's
you the same
okay.
trainer that you were when you first began? Like, how has your training style evolved? Did you train people like
Night
in a
and day.
bodybuilding space?
I trained them in a bodybuilding space or bodybuilder style gyms. But I didn't train bodybuilders. I've always trained the, general
Mm-hmm.
individual, the general individual that wants to be healthy and just work out and get fit.
Mm-hmm. What do you?
Your average mom or
Everyday person.
the everyday person. Yeah. So I started training the average individual at bodybuilder style gyms
Okay.
as I was competing too. And I think my style was very one dimensional when I first started. But as the years went by, my love for the knowledge of fitness started to kick in and I wanted to learn more. So that's when I started going to school
Mm-hmm.
for kinesiology. And so I started, learning about that. And I just recently graduated and got my degree in kinesiology.
Yeah.
And I learned a little
Congratulations.
bit, thank you. And I learned a little bit about performance psychology too. So how people think and how people, feel about themselves and their confidence, how that all affects their movement, which is super fascinating to me. I love that stuff. So I apply my knowledge to my clients too.
Yeah, I was about to say, how do you apply that to them? Like when, or yeah, how do you apply that to them? Like,
So think about an athlete, right? A football player. He gets hurt during practice and he has to sit out for 4 to 6 weeks. And then he finally does his rehab. He feels good. He's ready to go. He gets cleared by his doctor and he ends up, getting back into it and he has a game. Well, he's probably going to be a little nervous. He's thinking about that injury, right? Whatever he tore or pulled or popped, whatever. He's going to be thinking about that. So, how a performance psychologist kind of, is involved in that, they make sure to coach that athlete and make sure that they're mentally strong and prepared to get back into their game, even though they just had an injury. So, it's kind of like that when it comes to like my clients, right? So if they're having a hard day, if they're not feeling so good mentally, if they're going through something emotionally, I have learned through, I guess, my own love for them, the way I care for them, plus the knowledge from school. I combine all of that and I learn how to handle those situations. So I'm able to guide my girls through those really hard days that they're just maybe fighting with their boyfriend. Maybe they just broke up with their boyfriend. Maybe they had a fight with their mom. Like there's just so many things that happen and I know how to guide my girls out of that headspace into a positive one and get them through their session. And at the end of the session, they feel really good and they feel really happy that they came to work out with me. So it's not just them lifting weights, it's so much more than that.
mm-hmm. You're building a little bit of a tribe.
Oh, absolutely. My girls have been with me for a long time. I have girls that have been with me since, man, like 2016, 2018, 2020.
You have any
So
day one clients? Somebody that just
I do actually. I have maybe 2 to 3 girls that are day ones since the very beginning.
and how so? Do they have they like just kind of followed to the gym that you're mainly at, or do you only train at a?
One of them has.
Okay.
One I only train at Elevate, yeah.
Okay.
But my online programs, whenever I do online challenges or online programs, they're always doing them. Always. When I don't have a challenge or an online program, they're doing my previous one or they're doing the one before that. Like they save them from the years
That's
past.
right. Yeah.
So I have a lot of day ones for sure.
Man,
Yeah.
those programs. Online. Did did that begin because of like let's say COVID? Did you only begin or did you
No.
do it beforehand?
Before COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, before COVID. I did like, Microsoft Word, write them out, type them out, send them, easy. Like,
What is that? What is that like? Can you walk me through your process of creating a program per se?
Yeah, I mean,
Do you
I
start
don't
at
want to
do
get too
you
much
s-
into detail because it could be a lot, but basically, I decide what I want the program to be. So if I have a challenge coming up, for example, the next one I want to do, I don't think I'm going to have it in time for January because I've just been enjoying my break from school and enjoying my family and stuff. So
yeah.
let's just say, for example, in March, right? Let's say my next challenge is then. Well, I decide, okay, what kind of challenge do I want it to be? Do I want it to be a challenge slash program that's directed towards getting someone leaner, tighter, but, burning more calories? Or do I want it to be a building mass type of program? Or do I want to, focus on their core? Like, it just depends what I would like to write. And then from there, I just write the program. So, if it's to help, build muscle and get somebody, more size and more mass, well, then we're going to lift a little bit heavier. The reps are going to be a little bit lower, We're going to really, really focus on the same lifts for, 6 to 8 weeks. So it's progressive overload for the most part.
Less variation. Is that what you're saying?
I would say a little bit less. There is variation. For example, we could be working on our barbell back squat, right? And they're going pretty heavy for a couple of weeks. Okay, well after week 2, maybe on week 3, we're doing a front squat. We're still staying heavy, but we're changing the type of squat that we're doing. So we're changing the variation of the squat. So now the load is in the front versus the back, but we're still going heavy because we're still trying to build muscle, right?
Mm-hmm.
We could be working on sumo deadlifts for the first 2 weeks. Okay, now for week 3, maybe we're introducing the conventional deadlift. So we're switching it from sumo to conventional deadlift. So I change the variation of the movement,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still the similar movement pattern with the similar rep scheme,
Mm-hmm.
depending on if I want to have them burn more calories, lose more weight, get leaner, or gain more size, gain more muscle, get bigger. Just depends.
If it's like getting toned out and lean, is
Sure.
it 3 sets, but now we're doing like 15, 20 reps. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
like 16, 20 reps, 25 reps, 30 reps.
And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you have to do like long
Oh,
sets like
yeah, for
that.
sure. Yeah. But it could be a lot of band work that we're doing. A lot of band work,
Oh,
or
true.
we're doing more body weight stuff, or I incorporate more like, Pilates in there. Like, I do a little bit of everything. But
You
every
guys will
single
do some
program.
Pilates sometimes in your
Oh, yeah,
classes?
for sure. Yeah.
Sometimes in the morning?
Mhm.
Dang, I don't know. I guess I don't notice when Pilates is occurring.
Yeah, because I don't have a Pilates setup,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll use, I don't know if you've seen me use them, but they're parallel bars.
Oh, they kind of like,
They're on the floor
yeah.
and they're like, they go like this.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, and you can carry them around. You can use one, you can use two. I mean, there's a bunch. So I use parallel bars to kind of mimic certain things, or sliders
Mm-hmm.
to mimic certain, sliding
Oh,
movements.
okay, yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
little discs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so stuff like that.
Mm,
I'm pretty
nice.
creative.
So then it's a really
Mhm.
like just hybrid sort of journey.
I
You
would
know what
say
you're
it's
doing?
pretty hybrid, and I'm very like I said before, I was one-dimensional. Now I'm not. Now I'm definitely, I would say, more multidimensional when it comes to my own training and then my clients' training. So I'm really proud of the progress that I've made. Again, it's been a long journey, a lot of ups and downs, and I've had to humble myself. I've gotten humbled. I've learned. I've left El Paso. I've came back. So it's been quite the journey the past 10 years for sure. I
Asi-
don't feel like the same person at all.
So it's like it go. I mean, yeah, it goes beyond just like the career as well.
Yeah.
Um, with school besides the performance psychology,
hmm
what else through your? How does your degree start? And was it just one shot? Did you take any like gap years or anything like that?
I took a lot of gap years.
A lot of gap years.
So many. Yeah. I just, okay. So it took me a long time to graduate with that degree just because I was taking so many breaks. Like I said, I did leave to California. I moved back. It was a whole thing. I've taken a semester off. I've changed my major like 6 times. So with that being said, if anybody's listening who is discouraged because, they're taking too long to graduate with their bachelor's and they feel like a loser, you're not a loser. Go at your own pace and just get it done when you can. Like, it's not a race. It really isn't a race.
I mean,
Finish when you
yeah.
can.
How can you like ever feel like it's a race? Sometimes because when you're in there, when you're in the moment,
Yeah.
and you're doing your classes, you're with people of all ages, and then sometimes like the older ones are like the coolest like classmates that you have, like the OGs and stuff. Like they're just going back to finish the degree.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the best way to get over maybe any fears of college is to be in there. You know what I mean? Because when you're in there, like being in that environment, it's like really encouraging. So at least from my perspective, did you
I
feel that way?
I mean, Yeah, I didn't really. I mean, I met some really cool people along the way for sure. People that helped, like, we helped each other in certain classes. If I didn't understand something or they didn't understand something, we had each other's back. Or if we were struggling, we helped each other out. So that was nice to have. But ultimately, you said it earlier. You said I'm very independent, and
Oh.
yes and no.
Hmm.
I know how to do things alone. I think because I'm the oldest child in my family, so my parents also taught us how to be very, just be okay with being by yourself. If you want to go shopping by yourself, if you want to go eat by yourself, that's okay. So I think that's translated into when I was in school, you know. I just was doing it for me and nobody else. So I think you need to be very mentally strong and know why you're going to school, and if it's for a good reason, it's because you just want to finish and you want to feel that sense of accomplishment, then you can do it, and it doesn't matter who's around you
Yeah.
in your classes. If that makes sense.
Yeah. You know how you said that you switched majors a bunch?
So many times.
Um, is that why you took some gap years? Is because there any points where you're like, I don't even know what I'm doing right now? So
Yeah.
let me
Oh,
not like
oh, for
waste this.
sure. For sure it was. And then also when I started personal training, I was also bartending and I was also serving. So, you're young, you're single, and you don't have kids, you're living at home with your parents. You see the money coming in, and for me personally, like, I made pretty good money as a young single girl living at home.
Hmm.
So it kind of pulled me in, and I think that, not I think, I know that my focus was on making money.
Hmm.
And that's it. There were some points I didn't care about my homework, I didn't care about what I was doing, I didn't focus at school. And I wish I wouldn't have done that, but again, it is what it is. I'm here now and I finally accomplished what I had to, but that's also why it took me a long time because I was so focused on the moment and partying and bartending and serving and making money.
Yeah.
So that kind of derailed me a little bit for a while. And
Yeah.
then of course changing majors cuz I wasn't sure.
What did you start off with? What was one of your earliest majors, or your first one?
Oh
If you know.
man, what's so funny? My first major was kinesiology.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, my
Full
first
circle.
I full
Full
circle, dude.
circle.
Full circle. So yeah, my first major I believe was kinesiology, and then from there I switched it to, I think I was going to school for like a year or so, and I was like, I don't know if I even want to do this. So, you know what? I'll just do like a general studies degree. And I was like, I think, you know what? I want to do this instead. So I think I changed it to nutrition. And then from there, I think that's when I moved or I transferred to NMSU and they had a dietetics program. So then I switched from nutrition to dietetics, which is nutrition, but it's medical nutrition. So I was doing that. It didn't quite appeal to me just because it's a lot of chemistry and I like chemistry, but I don't love it and I'm not that great at it. So then I switched it back to kinesiology. Hmm.
So, but always health sciences, like something in that
Sure.
space.
Yeah. Always health sciences related.
You ever consider maybe, aside from it being extra work,
Hmm.
have you ever considered combining your health science with like a business?
You know what? Yeah. So if I mean, depending on how 2024 goes, I might go to grad school in 2025 or even the year after that. It just depends on how this year goes. I might go back to school for either nutrition masters
Hmm.
or a business masters of business. I'm not sure yet. Right now, I just need a little mental break because the
Oh yeah,
past
for
2 years
sure.
have
Like,
been
yeah.
like all gas, no breaks, and it's been a really hard 2 years for sure.
How did you split that up? Were you doing like summer semesters and winter semesters too?
I was doing summers.
No winters though. You're like, okay,
No,
well,
no
let me chill for
winters.
like 2
Yeah,
weeks.
no, the winters are tough. Yeah, I was doing yeah, spring, summers, fall, back to back for 2 years. Just because my boyfriend was really encouraging me, like, hey, you're almost done. You have this much left. Why don't you just focus for the next 2 years and
Mm.
finish? And I said, yeah, you know what, you're right. Like, I need to finish for sure. I have to. So then that's when I didn't cram it, but I kind of did. I just pushed myself as much as I could while still maintaining my clients and still, maintaining my own mental health. I
Mm.
just pushed really hard for 2 years and
Yeah.
just finished.
What are some
Hmm.
of the more recent things
Hmm.
from like your, like, let's say your past semester? This is the one that you just completed.
Hmm.
What's something from there that you're either excited to or are already applying to your clients? That like you didn't, like,
Let
you
me
wouldn't have
see.
learned that from your just like natural experience. You needed to like go to those like.
Mm, I would say this past semester, there was really nothing that I learned that I could apply to my clients that I didn't already know. Because this past semester, I had basically just my last upper level psychology courses left.
Hmm.
So this semester was the easiest one I've ever had.
What do your classes look like? What type of classes are you
So
taking?
I had psychology of emotion, I had health psychology, and then I had one more. I had one more that I can't remember what it was, and then my internship.
Were any of those like
So,
super dope classes? Like super
you know
interesting?
what? Like the health psychology one was just because the professor or she was a PhD candidate, so she was in grad school as she was teaching us and it was her first semester as like professor. Um her class was really interesting, especially because she was so passionate about what she was teaching. So, I learned a lot about um man, I'll tell you one thing. So, this professor is very passionate about health psychology. So she was discussing one class about how um, overweight people are treated by doctors and how there was some studies done about doctors that when they have an overweight patient, how do they feel about them? Do they treat them any different from a less, obese patient? Do they respect their patient? Blah, like questions were asked like that to doctors, and the studies showed that I think 17% of doctors that were in the study did not respect overweight or obese patients. They saw them as lower. They kind of felt disgusted working with them. So that lecture that we had, that professor was going off. She was so pissed about how doctors treat their overweight patients. Not all of them, right? But some of them that were involved in that study.
17% of them.
Yeah, 17%
Big
of like
number.
120 doctors that were looked at. I think it was like in the UK or something. But yeah, I mean, it was things like that, health psychology, people that develop cancer, how can a health psychologist work with that patient who has cancer, get through the rest of their life with a good quality of life, with a good mindset, things like that.
Hmm.
So they were heavy, heavy topics for sure.
It's a big number.
Yep.
I don't really see how you can become a doctor and kind of have those sorts of mm,
I get what you're saying.
issues with a
Like,
type of patient.
I mean, if you think about it, it's a little close minded, right? Being close minded to an overweight patient. Like, it shouldn't matter what the patient looks like, how much they weigh. You should want to treat your patient and love them and try to care for them the best way you can, no matter what.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it's interesting for sure.
Especially because all the stuff you probably see along your way through your education.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I feel like you're desensitized to a lot of that stuff to where you shouldn't even have. You should be super neutral about it all,
You
almost
would think?
indifferent, Like
You
your
would think.
emotions are placed in the right spaces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I mean, I think another thing is, I mean, the way that they see it based on the lecture, right? The way that the doctors that felt that way saw it was that the patient, since they're overweight, they don't want to help themselves, that they're putting themselves in that position, that they're choosing that lifestyle. And even them coming in, they're not ever going to change. They're always going to be overweight and unhealthy. So that's kind of where that opinion was stemming from with the doctors. So when you put it that way, you're like, oh, okay, I can see your frustration because you want to help these people, but they don't want to help themselves. I can see what they're saying. But yeah, again, the professor was just really, really pissed off. So she was like really going
Just
at
because
it with
it's
that
so
lecture.
easy to like accidentally be overweight with like the processed foods that everyone eats nowadays.
I mean, I don't know if you can call it accidentally because we choose what we put in our mouths,
Yeah, that's true.
Like not to be like a jerk or anything, but I mean, w- it's different when someone has a health condition, chemical imbalance or hormone imbalance that they were born genetically with. Like, that's something different. Like, it's harder for them to lose weight. You know what I mean? That's when we should show a lot of compassion towards those people because maybe they don't want to be in that state, that they're in. They want to be better, but they're just having such a hard time because of, again, their hormone or chemical imbalance, whatever it is. Yeah. I don't know. That stuff is so interesting to me. So sorry if I'm rambling about
No,
this,
no, no,
but
not
No,
at
that's
all.
I find it
interesting
super
though.
cool. I love it.
Yeah.
When it comes to your diet,
Uh-huh.
how do you actively choose to avoid processed foods? Where do
Like
you,
me?
yeah, like where do you shop? Do you like to
What
get
diet? I
I don't
don't
know.
diet. I'm just kidding.
Do you eat whatever?
I
How strict are you
I
about
kind
it?
of do eat whatever. I was dieting for a long time when I was bodybuilding, and I was so strict on myself, and I didn't get to enjoy family parties sometimes if I went out of town with my parents or my family or whoever. Like, I didn't get to enjoy like a burger and like a milkshake and fries because I was preparing for a competition, you know?
Hmm.
So after so many years of doing that, I actually really really messed up my metabolism, and I had a bit of an eating disorder for a little bit. I don't really talk about this like openly just because it's kind of a lot and I don't think people really care, but I'm telling you guys, like I did have a little bit of an eating disorder, and it took me a long time, like I would say 4 or 5 years to like kind of fix myself the best way I could. Like I really had to reshape how I exercised. I had to reshape how I thought about exercise, and I started seeing it as a way to heal myself, not a way to uh not hurt myself, but punishment. I used to see exercise as punishment. I was saying, "Oh, like you ate all that. Okay, well now go get on the stairs for an hour and a half cuz you just ate all of that." You know what I mean? Like that's where my mindset was at, and it was not a healthy mindset. So, I really had to repair my metabolism after I was competing and dieting for so long that after I finally fixed myself, um then I just learned from it, and I was like, "You know what? I'm not going to diet. We have such short lives. Like life goes by so fast, right? Why can't or why shouldn't I enjoy the food with the people that I love? The foods I want to eat with the people that I love is
Hmm.
what I'm trying to say." So, yeah, I did not want to diet anymore. So now I don't diet. I just eat what I want, kind of when I want, but within reason.
Yeah.
And it's funny because for the most part, I don't eat that bad. I make sure that whatever I'm cooking is healthy-ish, but it tastes amazing because
Yeah.
I love to cook.
Hmm.
I love to cook, and I throw down hard in the kitchen. So
Yeah, some
What,
of your
what's
all
like?
my food.
stories are like insane.
Was like out of all that, what's like a guilty pleasure? Like I'm gonna throw this in here. What do you like to put in your food that you're like, ooh, okay, I'm gonna put a little extra.
I don't feel guilty about any of it,
You like
dude. Like
salt?
none of no,
Put-
fuck no. I put a lot of dude. I salt the fuck out of my
Hell
ribeyes
yeah.
and my New Yorks. So no, I don't feel bad about that at all. If you drink enough water and you exercise,
Hmm.
you're using the salt appropriately and
Yeah.
you're flushing out the excess sodium. So no, we put salt, garlic,
Hmm.
everything. I
Where do
enjoy all
you
of it.
where do you get your ideas from? Like,
My
do you like to
ideas,
scroll, or do you like to maybe like cookbooks or anything like that?
I mean, I use Google a lot. I
Hmm.
use TikTok a little bit, and then my boyfriend and I are really creative. So if we think about adding something, we say, "Oh, let's try this out. Like, let's add this. Oh yeah, you're right. Let me do that." But yeah, I would say mainly like Google. I just Google recipes, and if I don't find something that I am looking for, then I take a little recipe and then I add my own twist to it. And that's usually when the recipes come out the best. Because I put so much love into my cooking. I really, really do. Like, I'm so excited to make all the food and like try this new thing. And then, like, oh, I don't have this ingredient. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, let me add this instead. And it comes out good. Oh, it makes me so happy.
Hmm.
And I see my man, he's all happy and stuff. And it gives me a lot of joy. So, yeah, I put a lot of love into my food. So, especially after dieting for so long, I'm like, hell no. Like, I'm going to enjoy my food. I'm going to eat what I want. Recently, though, I would say this. I don't go that hard on the holidays. But this holiday, this past Thanksgiving and Christmas, your girl has been going hard with the key lime pie.
Key
Thanks,
lime pie.
thanks, roommate. You know who you are for bringing the key lime pie that I've been eating for 4 days straight.
Shame on you.
Shame on you. Just kidding. No,
Mate.
I'm really happy she bought that actually. It was so good. So I try to not go so hard in the holidays, but lately I've been enjoying some sugar. I really have. I really have. And I don't regret it.
Indulge in moderation.
Don't regret it.
Actually, well, you're saying the opposite of moderation, but
Moderation, but not restriction.
Okay, yeah.
That's the best way I can say it. I don't want to get too complicated. Hopefully I'm making sense to you guys, but
Oh, that makes sense.
moderation, not restriction.
hmm
So then that's just a lot of willpower.
No, it's not though. It's not. Like as soon as I change my mindset
Uh-huh.
from I'm going to punish myself with exercise, I'm going to diet because I need to be lean as fuck all the time. And when I changed that mindset and I decided, okay, I'm going to work out because I want to feel good. I want to have energy. I want to be happy. I want to be in a good mood. I want to sleep better. When I changed my mindset to that and I changed my workouts from just like very bro, bodybuilder style working out to look a certain way, when I changed that to I'm going to work out to function and feel the best way I can, when I changed that, dude, it all changed.
How long
I
was that shift? The mental paradigm shift?
It's been, I think, the past 2.5 years, almost 3. It was a big shift. And when I started focusing on how I move and moving to feel good, that's when I've seen the best results in my body, believe it or not. I didn't work out to look a certain way, I worked out to feel good. My body changed dramatically. Not only that, but I actually changed the way I was eating. So it went like this: bodybuilding, very restrictive. I had a little bit of an eating disorder, got through that. I repaired my health and my mindset. Then it went to, you know what? I love animals so much, and I got 2 dogs. I love animals so much, I'm gonna go vegan. So I went vegan for a little bit. So a span of 5 years after bodybuilding, okay, a span of 5 years, I went from veganism to vegetarianism to pescatarianism, right? And during that time, those 5 years, I did feel better and I was looking pretty decent, but then I was developing some health problems that I didn't know were related to my diet. So the past 2.5 years, I went from, vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian to like straight up like carnivore, like meat eating, red meats, bacon, ground beef, everything you can think of, cheese. When I did that, that was like the next level. So when I changed my mindset from restrictive, punishing myself, to I'm going to feel good, I'm going to work out to function better, to I'm going to start eating meat again after 5 years, holy shit. Like my mind and my body have gone to another level. And I might not have the nicest body or like be the leanest or like have the best butt, whatever, but I feel so good about myself, and I feel that this is the best I have ever, in my opinion, the best I've ever looked. And I've gained weight, but good weight. And I feel so happy.
Just clean on the inside.
Yeah,
And you wake
for
up
sure.
and you're like, I'm good.
I feel good, dude. I just feel strong. I feel healthy. So there's been so many shifts in my own personal journey that have led to just being a better version of me as a client, as a trainer, as a person, all of it.
How do you go? Is that kind of what you just said right now? Is that sort of how you go about, your approach with a client who might be really hard on themselves? With
Absolutely.
like they're talking to you about like, I'm trying to diet right now. I'm doing like, what is it? I'm doing keto, or like I'm eating nothing right now. Like, how do you go about trying to like, hey, maybe, do you try to intervene in that, or only if they ask? Do you feel like it's your duty to chime in?
So what happens is when I conduct my assessments, so when a new client comes in, they want to train with me, I don't train them right away. I'm very, very thorough with my assessment. So I meet the client for the first time. They come into the gym, I get to know them, I ask them about themselves, their health, everything. Then they talk about their diet, right? So maybe if I have someone that's very restrictive when they don't have to be, if they're doing keto and they don't feel their best, maybe they are doing keto and they have been doing it for a long time, but they don't have a medical condition that requires them to be on keto, and they feel just shitty all the time and they're not really building muscle and they're plateauing or whatever the case may be. Then I talk to them like, hey, have you thought about this? And I ask them, okay, well, you've been doing keto, like how has that worked for you? So when I ask them, how has that worked for you? It makes them realistically look at how is it working for me? I don't say like, oh, like, do you like it? Do you like keto? I say like, oh, well, how's it working for you? And then they have to sit down with themselves and say, well, not so great, I don't feel so good. Okay, well, then we talk about it. So then I try to shift their mindset from what they've been doing to giving them ideas. Maybe try this, try that, add this to your diet, maybe add this supplement, or, maybe you need a multivitamin. It just depends on the individual client during their assessment. And then from there, I help them with that.
Like on the journey, do you
Exactly.
do you have to be a little careful with how much advice you give? Like
Oh, yeah.
technically, like
Mm-hmm.
like what do you need in order
sure.
to be able to kind of free reign? Like, hey, I can tell you whatever I want.
You gotta
about
be a
this,
doctor, bro. You gotta
doc-
have
like-
an, you
like
gotta
a
have an
dietitian
MD.
specifically,
So you either need to be a dietitian,
or
like
a
a registered
nutritionist?
diet. No, anybody can call themselves a nutritionist.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As of right
You
now,
can
as
call
of
yourself a
late,
nutritionist right now. If
I
you like?
could right now if I wanted to, but I don't. My
Keep it
specialty
real.
is exercise. Yeah, for sure. So technically, you have to be a registered dietitian to give meal plans. Technically, you
Okay.
do in most states. So yeah, there's that. So you either have to be a registered dietitian or an MD for you to kind of have free reign. Mostly if you're a doctor, that's when you have free reign to like really give the most advice possible. So I try to do my best not to step on anybody's toes. If there's a question that's, asked
In your
from my
wheelhouse.
client,
Yeah.
I try to be careful with how I answer it. But I mean, I also tell them how I feel and how I've been doing and what's helped me, and maybe they can try that out, maybe figure out what works for them based on what I'm giving them as far as advice goes. So it's really interesting. It's really, really interesting. I try to tailor things to the individual client.
Is the assessment? How do you go about the assessment? Do you meet at the gym or you guys go to like a coffee shop?
No. We meet at the gym.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's where I'm going to train them. That's where we're going to work.
Okay,
So I make sure
yeah,
they
man.
come in, get a tour, make sure they feel comfortable. I mean, mostly everybody that I've had, they love the gym. So,
Yeah.
They always say, oh my gosh, this gym's so big. It's so nice. There's so many things here. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, it's a great gym. That's why I'm here,
You feel at home there?
So-
Like you
Oh, yeah.
have any?
For sure. I've been there for a long time. I think I'm going on like 5 or 6 years because I was there before this location, before Elevate was Elevate.
At
We
that
had,
spot.
yeah.
What was it?
Before Elevate, it was a Planet Fitness.
You were there?
I was not there, but
Oh, you were
that's
not there.
that's what Elevate
Okay,
was.
yeah.
Before Elevate, we were at a different location
Oh,
off of
okay.
Esther Lama, and it was called CrossFit 915.
Oh,
And CrossFit 915 was, I want to say 8 or 10 years that they had
It used to
CrossFit
be on the
915.
west side too.
Oh,
Or they had a separate location.
they had, oh man, I want to say there was a west side location, but
Far away.
it wasn't, I don't think it was the owners of Elevate that were always there. I think they partnered with somebody who was running the west side location. So yeah, 2 different people, same name. But this is their 3rd location. So I think they had a first gym, kind of by Esther Lama. It was a smaller gym and it was CrossFit based. And then after that, they moved to Esther Lama, like a big like warehouse. We were there for a while. I was a member there and I was doing CrossFit for like 2-3 years.
Dang.
And then they asked me to work there. So I brought my clientele there. Then we moved and we created Elevate. Well, I didn't create it, but I did help build it. I helped with the turf. I cut the
You see
turf
these
up.
hands.
I
you see
waxed
these
I waxed the
hands.
floors when you walk in. You see the wax? I did that. Or maybe it's new wax now, so maybe it's not me, but I painted the walls in the restroom. Like I did help with that.
Dang, for real?
Yeah.
You did really paint?
I swear. Yeah, I painted the walls in the restroom a little
It's
bit.
like a grassroots movement, or like, did you know about them and they asked for help, or?
So I was at CrossFit 915 at Esther Lama. That was our old location. Mark, the owner of Elevate, we got along so well, and he I think he saw my potential, and he asked me like, hey, I know you're at this gym, but I would like for you to bring your clients over. I think you'd be a really good match for the
What
gym.
were you training at before?
I was training at Show Offs.
Oh, true.
The first one on
one
the east
by,
side. Now it's huge.
Off of the Loop.
Off of the Loop. Yeah.
I used to go in there.
Yeah. I used to work there, so I moved from there. You used to go there?
Nah,
You used to
I
go
was-
there?
I was about to say something else.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was
24
there.
hours. 24 hours.
Yeah, 24 hours. I used to go there. I used to go there like at 11 o'clock at night.
David got
Midnight.
my cousin David got me into working out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's when I started like my weightlifting journey.
Really?
Yeah. He
Oh,
told me
shoot.
about that spot and
That's
then,
crazy.
um
It's a great gym too. It's an awesome.
but
gym.
I first met you because of David again.
Yeah.
But at like I said, that Revolution spot.
At Revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were
That
you
was
just training there or were you coaching there?
No, I was training. I was a personal trainer there and I worked the front desk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I did both. And then after a while I just focused on my clients. But yeah, that was a long time ago.
Long
But yeah,
time,
Mark
that's
asked me
crazy.
to bring my clients there. I did. And then he tells me, "Hey, I want to show you something." This was a while later. He goes, "I want to show you something." I said, "Yeah, show me. What is it?" And he shows me a layout for the new gym. He says, "I'm going to call this Elevate. What do you think? Look at the layout. Look where everything is." I was like, "Mark, let's go. Like this looks
Let's go."
amazing." The way he had it, spread out and the way it was organized. I mean, Mark is just, not only is he super intelligent, shout out to you, Mark, but he is super creative. So, and he's organized. So, man, he's just awesome. He really, really hit the, what do they say, the nail on the head with that one. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, he did such a good job. So I said, "Mark, this looks phenomenal." He's like, "So what do you think about this? What do you think about that?" So we went back and forth, kind of giving him my not ideas, but like my perspective on things, and then he's like, "That's really, really cool," so he's like, "So you're gonna bring your clients over there too?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it," so brought my clients over to that gym, and before we officially opened, like I said, I really did wax the floors, paint the walls, and cut the turf. The cutting of the turf was a little bit of a challenge. I was having a hard time with
Was it
that.
like the cutters that was the challenge?
It was just, I mean, the turf was kind of heavy, kind of thick, and
Cheers.
yeah, it was. I forgot how I cut it. No, no, it was a knife.
Oh,
It was
okay.
like a sort of box cutter knife,
Oh, okay.
from what I
Oh,
remember,
okay,
and I had to
imagine.
like come down like down the line and like
Yeah.
do it
The workout.
evenly. Oh, dude, it was I was so tired, but he had so much help from a lot of the members that maybe they have construction companies or they work for construction
Yeah,
sites,
true.
or
Man, there's
he
a
had
lot of
so
money.
much help, and the gym came out
Gym.
came out amazing. So, yeah, I'm super happy to be there, and my clients love it too, so
Terminology
very
wise,
thankful.
is it a private gym? Is it considered a private gym?
No, it's a public gym because there's
What's a
people.
private gym?
A private gym would be a place that you can only go to if you either one have like a personal trainer there or have a coach there. Um,
Okay.
but maybe they might not necessarily be open to everybody. Maybe it's access to only certain individuals. Maybe you have to be a part of this group, part of this class that trains there, but it's not open to the public.
So safe
Let's
to
say a
say like
person
there's
from,
no open gym available.
yeah, not really open gym available. It's classes
Yeah.
that are taught. It could be that, or a personal trainer that runs their classes there, and you only have access to them. You can't just go on your own.
Yeah.
Or a person that comes in from out of town. They stop by, hey, can I get a day pass? Oh, I'm so sorry. It's a private gym. You have to be part of the classes. That could be another thing too.
Okay.
You know.
I guess I was equating a private gym to something that just wasn't like a franchise of like a chain of gyms or something like that.
I mean, you might be right when it comes to that terminology.
Yeah.
You might be right. But yeah, it's
But
considered a
wouldn't make
public
sense, yeah.
gym.
I
But
would
it's
consider
considered a pub because like you guys, right? You guys don't do the classes, right? Like you and Stefan, you guys do your open gym. You do
Yeah.
whatever you want. You just use the equipment.
Mhm.
You're an open gym member.
Mhm.
So yeah, I wouldn't say that we're considered a private gym at all. Sorry, Mark, if I butchered that.
Jovi, I got a question because
Yeah.
I know that we did bench press at the boot camp,
Uh-huh.
but how often does a girl need to hit chest? You know what I
Like
mean?
once a week, twice a week, maybe.
Same thing?
Bench press with the bar, or dumbbell chest presses laying down on the floor, or they can be on a bench, or they can incline the bench. Different angles
Mm-hmm.
of pressing. Also a push motion. Like a push up, like a dip. Tricep extension on the cable. But like upwards. So there's different ways that you can involve like your chest and your triceps.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say at least once or twice a week.
So you don't think
for
a
sure.
girl needs to like be like, oh no, I don't want. Why am I gonna work out chest? Like that doesn't make no sense.
No, girl, you should.
Is that a
Now
myth?
your titties
Is
are gonna
that-
hang
is-
down
is
to
that,
here.
Is that a myth?
Just
Is that a
kidding.
myth that you've maybe heard ever? Are there any gym myths that you are tired of hearing about that you want to debunk right here?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's one. Oh, it's so annoying. So there's one that people say, and they talk about hip dips. I don't know if you've heard about that one, where like
Mhm.
just look it up. Look up hip dips and hip dip workouts. Such bullshit. So
Is it to get rid of the hip?
it's to get rid of the hip dip. Like what? What are you talking about? Like has nothing to do with it. Your genetics play a huge role on how your hips look. I have no hips. I'm narrow as fuck, and I'm okay with that. Like I have a very athletic build, right? So I don't have big curvy hips. I just don't. I wasn't born like that, and I never will be born like that unless I get a BBL. Well, teach their own. So there's girls that have like I guess like there's like a dip and then the hips go like this, and they don't like it. They don't like the way that looks. They want to be perfectly like this, right? Like perfectly round at the sides. It's okay if you have a little bit of cellulite, a little bit of extra love here. It's okay if it's a little flabby, just a little bit. Like sometimes it's your genetics that play a role in that. So people think they can work that out and get it perfectly like this. And you have fitness influencers that have gotten a BBL that are selling booty programs or leg programs or programs in general. And they're like, oh, girl, to get rid of your hip dips, just do this twice a day, 12 reps.
Mm-hmm. It's a
Don't believe
lie.
it. Yeah, hip dip workouts are not a thing. So no, I'm tired of that one.
No
I
hip
swear. I swear.
That's a myth. Is it a
More of a girl
almost
thing, I would say. More of a girl thing.
okay? Is it almost a repeat question to go ahead and ask you? Is there anything that like you see at Elevate or any gyms, just like gym culture in
Uh-huh.
general, that like is getting normalized a little bit, like
Hmm. Mm. Yeah, for sure.
that
I
that
mean,
you don't like seeing no more?
it's not that I don't like seeing it. I mean, The only thing I don't like seeing is like if someone's being mean to another person, like if they're not sharing the equipment, they're not sharing the space. Like I'm super nice at the gym. If you need to use something, if you need to use a machine, okay, hey, my girls have 2 more sets. You want to work in? Like let's go, you know? Or like someone's going to move out of the way for me. I'm like, no, stay. Like we'll come back or just let me know. Like I try to communicate with people cuz I want to share the space. So when I see people not sharing the space, I hate that. I hate when people are just rude and they don't want to share. Not only that, but also just people that are mean at the gym in general, like you have no idea what someone's going through. You have no idea if someone's going in there, they've had a bad day,
Mm-hmm.
they're depressed as fuck, like they're going in there because they want to clear their mind and feel good about themselves. Like you just never know, right? So just be nice and share the gym, share the equipment, don't be an asshole. Another thing, I hate it when people don't put away their weights. Oh, I hate that so much. So I would say, yeah, mean people at the gym that are not considerate and people that do not put away their weights like a decent human being. That shit, I just can't. One thing that I see a lot, it doesn't bother me whatsoever, like at all, because I do it too. I'm starting to see the normalization of, more and more people filming their workouts. Like, but it's
Oh
it's more
yeah, okay.
prevalent now. Back then it wasn't as much. I would still do it like 10 years ago, 9 years ago. Like for myself too, like I would just record for myself, but now like everyone does it and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just something I noticed. I'm sure you have too, right? People going in there taking content, maybe even bringing their photographer in, their videographer. I do that stuff all the time. So, yeah, I see it. I see it a lot. Mhm. Yeah.
Have you heard of the whole argument that like it makes some people who are maybe like new to the gym or shy and all that, it kind of like, it kind of pushes them away a little bit. Do you respect that argument at all?
Not really. No. I think here's the thing, when I'm recording, I try my best to be aware of like who's around me. If there's a man that's in the frame or like a girl that's in the frame, I do my best to like zoom in and make sure I'm the only one in the frame. Or if there's someone like really far, then oh okay, it's fine. Like they're really far, it's not a big deal. But if someone's very close, I try to respect them
Mm-hmm.
and I try to turn the camera to where you can only see me. And if there's ever parts where they're involved, then I just kind of cut it out. So
Yeah.
that's how I try to respect other people. Or if they're next to me, I let them know, hey, just so you know, I'm not recording you or anything. I try to do that.
True, that's
So I
cool.
mean, as long as you communicate with people,
There's a
shouldn't be a
lot
problem.
there's a lot of videos. I don't know if you've seen many where like people are just causing fights about about the film stuff.
Yeah.
There's a video of a girl, I think she's about to hit some incline dumbbells, and this guy walks up and says, like, if you don't stop filming, like, break that phone and stuff. And he wasn't even in the frame. Like, he's only got in the frame because he, like, walked up and got in it.
Oh my god.
Otherwise, it wouldn't have even been a problem if he just kind of minded his own business.
What a dummy.
Yeah.
That
So,
sucks.
of course, it gets viral and stuff like
Of
that.
course. Of course. I hate the girls that record themselves and they're like, ugh, look what this guy just did. And the guy's not doing anything.
You heard of, I think his name's Joey Swole. He, like, cuts off the
Yeah.
video and then he always, like, just goes on, like,
Says
this
his
whole
opinion. Yeah.
super polite, like, extra polite thing.
Yeah.
Um,
I love
he
stuff
doesn't
like
say
that.
it politely. He like criticizes the culprit. But
Yeah.
okay, outside of the gym,
Uh-huh.
as a trainer,
Uh-huh.
as somebody who's been in the space in the industry for a minute now,
Yeah.
decade, yeah,
Yeah, bro. 10
sheesh.
years. Yeah.
What like from on the coach side of things,
Mm-hmm.
from what you see in the city or even like from afar, what do you think could be improved on the coaching side? Is there anything that you see amongst coaches that like they could be doing better?
For sure. I think for the most part, I would like to see more trainers more passionate about what they're doing. Again, like I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of people that do things just for the sake of money, and it's kind of obvious, the way they treat their clients, the way they care for their clients, the way that they speak to them, even. I've seen trainers that are very, very, very rude, and they are like just flat out assholes to their clients. They think that they can talk to them however they want because the client pays them. So I would say for the most part, I would love to see more passionate trainers in our city do things for the right reasons, which are to help people become healthier and more fit and live a better life.
Earlier right now we were talking about some of the struggles as to why peach builders maybe slowed down,
Mm-hmm.
and you were just trying to go ahead and balance all these things that are going on at once, and at
For
some
sure.
point school was going to come to an end. uh, is it right when you graduated? Did you start ramping it back up, or when you say put it on the back burner?
Hmm.
What do you mean? Do you go from like a seasonal collection to just like maybe a half year? Because you still kept the motion going.
Oh yeah, still kept the motion going, but it wasn't as aggressive.
Okay.
So still kept, couple of launches,
Maybe
but
less
very
colors
small.
per drop.
Yeah, exactly. Less colors per drop, less often for drops.
Hmm.
And just wasn't able to put in as much of my creativity and ideas as I wanted to
Hmm.
for the drops. So I mean, I still have been keeping them going, but just not the level that I used to. But I had to focus on school and I had to put my almost, 100% effort into my studies. I just had to.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that's what I mean by that. It's not that I stopped, it's just that I had to focus on school for the most part.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I feel that. Cause like I was about to say, like I don't think there's any impression that you stopped at all. So
Mm-mm.
that's really cool because, like you said earlier, a lot of stuff that were your obstacles, were your hurdles. You don't really hear about it too much because a lot of people see, you are a coach. You're somebody who's leading a group of people, or sometimes even one on one. Like you got to kind of put that shield up a little bit, right? Do you ever feel like that sometimes? I can't really just be like weak in front of my clients or
I
something like
mean,
that.
of course,
Maybe
there's
not in
a,
that dog sense, but like
yeah.
a little bit more gentle to yourself.
Yeah, there's a level in which, I mean, my girls have seen me on my worst days. They've seen me so tired. I got 3 to 4 hours of sleep and was still there in the morning. They've seen me really, really struggle through it. But, I mean, they've been my biggest supporters, my clients, and, even on the days where I felt like complete crap and I was so tired, I pushed through for them and I tried my best to not let them know how crappy I was feeling. So, of course, as a coach, as their leader, I have to try to be as strong as I can.
Yeah.
Because even when I have bad days, guess what? I can't take it out on them. If I'm struggling through something, emotionally, I can't let them know that.
Mhm.
Just as a leader, that's what you have to do. You have to, toughen up a little bit, but not in a bad sense.
Yeah, yeah, I
Just
feel you.
part of it.
The whole
Mhm.
time, just Peach Builder's still going.
Exactly.
Little did they know it was one
Exactly.
of your biggest challenges.
Oh, the whole
School along
everything,
with school,
everything.
yeah. This last 2 years,
Yeah, it's
big
been
challenge for
really,
you.
really tough.
Do you get excited when you see your clients and anybody else rocking some Peach Builders in the gym?
Of course, of course.
You wish
Yes.
you could just stop and like go photograph all of them
I
if you
mean,
could.
I'll usually go up to them and I'll say something, oh, I love your leggings. They're like, oh, thanks. They're
Do you-
like, oh, they're yours. I'm
oh,
like,
yeah, I was about
yes,
to
they're
ask, like,
mine.
how
Yeah,
often does
people
somebody
know.
not know they're wearing your line?
Not very often. Usually
They
people
usually know.
know. Yeah,
Okay.
usually people know, so
Some
it's
people
nice.
might have just stumbled upon Peach Builders one time because they
And
liked what their
that's
friend was wearing.
and that's fine with me.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fine with me. But yeah, for the most part, like I'll catch girls wearing my stuff, like, and they'll be super excited, like, oh, it's yours. So it's cool to have that support.
Um, are you still keeping things in the works right now when it comes to the future of Peach Builders in general?
Yeah, for sure. So there's some new stuff coming up, hopefully in the next 6 months. I'm hoping June or July I can really make some changes. It's still gonna be, you know, what Peach Builders is, which is, fitness apparel, making sure that girls and anyone that wears Peach Builders feels more confident as
Mhm.
they wear Peach Builders and focus on like, my booty bands and stuff like that. Cause that's for the most part what people want, the apparel and the bands.
Yeah.
So it'll still be that, but who knows? I might change the name. I might, go in a different direction with the with the with the name. So yeah,
Yeah.
I got some plans with that.
From a business side standpoint, have there been any sort of like things that you maybe stopped trying to make because they just they didn't really sell? Like I'm not gonna make those again.
You know what? There's certain things that I've already sold out of, and I'm not thinking of bringing them back, such as my ankle weights, for example. I had
Oh,
ankle
true.
weights, and they were very cute. But I sold all of those. So I'm not gonna bring those back just because, um, I just wanted to try it. I wanted to see if it fell in line with Peach Builders, and
Mhm.
it did for a little bit. But now I'm gonna kind of narrow in and just focus on mainly the apparel and,
Mhm.
like I said, the booty bands. So, I would say my long resistance bands have taken a little while to
Oh,
like
true.
pop off on, but at the same time I haven't really promoted them as much as I would like to. So I still have some of those left, but overall the equipment has sold pretty well. Like I had ankle straps too, which sold out as well. I might bring those back actually in a different color, but I'm not too sure. So yeah, for the most part, I mean, it's been great. No complaints.
And then apparel has been pretty popping off all the time, huh?
Yeah, for sure. The apparel does the
'Cause
best.
that's a bodysuit,
Hmm.
and then you've done leggings.
Yeah, a bunch of leggings for sure.
The biker shorts,
Yep, some booty shorts, some biker shorts.
crops,
Sports bras, crop tops, tank tops,
all that stuff can just
zip up
come back
jackets.
up anytime.
Yeah. Oh, and it
What are
will.
some things
It
that
will
you
for
want to
sure.
make? What are some things that you haven't made yet that you want to make? Headbands?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, some
I do want to
headbands.
make some headbands. Yeah.
Anything
Mhm.
else?
What else do I want to make? I would love to make some t-shirts. Like
Okay,
some like
true.
looser
Yeah, yeah,
fitting
yeah.
t-shirts because a lot of my girls that don't like to wear crop tops, they want longer fitting t-shirts. So I'm gonna go that direction soon. And then also, I mean, it's gonna be too late, so I'm thinking maybe for the next season when it gets cold again, oversized sweaters,
hmm
oversized crew necks, like boyfriend fit as they
Yeah.
call them. I want to do those.
When it
So
comes to
yeah,
like t-shirts, what are your favorite style of shirts? Do you like the
Mm.
Elevate styles that have like the graphics on the back and like the
They're
left
cool.
chest, or do you prefer like how would you go about a Peach Builder shirt?
I mean, I usually do like very
Form?
form
Okay,
fitting, and very small, very small shirts.
that's how
I
you would
love
go
crop
about it.
tops. Yeah, I love crop tops.
Okay,
I
so you
do.
wouldn't do no oversized shirt, no streetwear,
I want to,
comfort
but
colors.
I haven't done that yet. So that's something I do want to do. But I'm just saying, for the most part, how I handle peach builders is like crop tops, little tiny
We need
things.
something that I can just do some squats in or something.
I
like
know,
that.
I know.
Some
Trust me,
back.
I do want to do that. So I'm hoping in the next couple of months I can make like some really cool white t-shirts,
A
but make
men's
like
line.
some sort of, you know what? I would like to make it more unisex,
Yeah,
especially
okay,
with the
yeah, I'm just
t-shirt.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, I mean I do want to make things for men too. I've been asked that for the past almost 3 years.
Yeah,
So
I
oh
bet.
yeah, for sure.
bet.
So it's in the plans for sure. Again, I just had to put this
Mm-hmm.
stuff a little bit more on the back burner just because of my goals at the time.
So now that you finished school,
Mhm.
and it's kind of at the almost, it's like what, like a couple weeks ago, but it's towards the
Yeah.
end of the year.
Mhm.
How do you approach New Year's? Because I mean, we're gonna put this on the beginning, but we're filming this almost on New Year's Eve. It's the 30th.
Almost. Yeah.
But how do you approach New Year's
Mhm.
usually? Do you get excited about it?
I do.
Yeah.
I usually get excited. Yeah. I look forward to that, like, kind of restart, refresh, mostly because I get to enjoy that moment and that shift with my family. I'm usually with my family for New Year's. So that's something I love about New Year's, but it doesn't really make me feel like I'm going to do anything totally different. I'm still going to work hard. I'm still going to work on my goals and work towards them. But yeah, I would say family and like the food and just experiencing that new chapter unfold with people that I love. That's what I enjoy the most.
Mm-hmm. So then for this year, aside from, like you said, you keep up the things that you're already working on.
Mm-hmm.
What's your eyes on the prize this year? Because school has been pretty much in there the last couple of years. So now that you get to take a little
Yeah.
break, what's your targets this year? What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to focus on my clients, focus on peach builders, and just put 100% of my effort, into my businesses. And I would just want to see how far I can take it. So basically, all of 2024, just go ham with that. And not only that, but I'll continue to do my free boot camps around the city because I've been doing
Yeah.
that for a few years, even before and during COVID. I can't even tell you how many boot camps I've done, and they're usually free of charge, just to work with the city and just to bring more awareness to health and fitness and make exercising fun for people and teach people new ways of exercising. Like, I want to continue to do that
Yeah.
throughout 2024 as well.
When do you think we can expect another boot camp, like some springtime or something like that?
I would say probably the springtime. Yeah. Probably the springtime. Yeah. So yeah, just focus on my businesses, put 100% of myself, and see how far I can take them during the whole entire year of 2024. And then from there, I'll reevaluate what I want to do. If I want to go back to school for my master's, if I want to go apply to, a certain program for school, I don't know until 2024 is coming to an end. Yeah.
What do you want to encourage people to do this year? Because most people, how do you feel about like the gym getting super packed on New Year's Day? You okay with
I
you embrace
mean,
it?
It is what it is, man. It's like that every year. You can't help it.
Yeah.
People get excited and they want to start their fitness journey, and this year's the year, and then they get their membership and then they go, especially January and February. And I mean, what I hope from that is that people stick to it. I hope more people stick to it this year than like last year or the previous year. So I mean, I try to encourage everybody that I can. I don't want to talk down to them, I really don't.
Yeah, of course.
So I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully they adopt that new lifestyle and
That's part
continue
of
it.
like the mental grit that you need to have which is what you develop when you do a lot of like physical activity.
Discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline, yeah. Yeah.
So then, before we go, what do you think? What do you think you would like to like tell people that are going that route? Like, okay, New Year, I'm gonna go and start at the beginning of the year and stuff.
Yeah.
What's one of your biggest things that you've seen people like? Why do you think most people stop? And then what would you do to help? Like, what advice would you give to like try to get people to overcome that resolution hump? Like, I was just a little thing I said I was gonna do it last year, but
Yeah, I get what you're asking. So, I would say first of all, for anybody that's trying to, get healthy, get fit and be more active, you need to choose a program or choose a gym that has what you love. If you love yoga, if you're interested in that, but you've never done it, okay, maybe go sign up at a yoga gym, or sign up at a big gym that offers yoga classes included and they have that included into their membership. Maybe go that route because it's really calling you. Don't get involved into a program or a gym that you're going there for somebody else. Like you're doing it because it's cool. You're doing it because that person's doing it and you want to fit in. Don't do that. Do what you love, do what's calling you, and you should be fine. I mean, not only that, but just know that after the first 2 or 3 months, it's not going to be as fun anymore. It's anything. Like it's going to get a little bit old. It's not going to be as exciting. Just like relationships can tend to be that way too. Like you need to push through. You need to push through those times where you're not really having the best time, or you're going to start to experience the days where you're like, you know what? I kind of don't want to go to the gym today. Not cuz I'm tired, not cuz I'm sore. It's just I just don't want to go. Well, guess what? That one day turns into 2 days, and it turns into 3 days, it turns into 2 weeks. And by the time you know it, you haven't gone for a whole month to the gym just because you didn't want to go. Well, then you're back to square one. And then it's the end of 2024 and you haven't accomplished what you want to because you just gave up. So I would tell people, don't give up, push through. If you're trying something new and you still don't enjoy it after 5-6 months, okay, we'll try something else. Get a different membership or go try something new. Maybe go try cycling. Maybe go try hiking. Maybe go do rock climbing. Like there's so many things that you can do and so many ways of getting your exercise and fitness in. It's not just one thing you have to do. You don't have to go to the gym and lift weights and that's it. Try everything and figure out what your style is, and you're more than likely to stick to that.
if somebody wants to maybe start getting trained a little bit, how can they reach out to you if they want to get trained?
Shameless plug. So if somebody wants to train with me, they can contact me on my Instagram. I use that mainly for my new clients. So my Instagram is @trainingbyjovy. They can contact me there. Send me a little DM, let me know, hey, Jovy, I'm interested in training with you. And I would say, all right, let's go. So that's the best way to reach me. I will be updating my website. So I'm sure you can expect some details about that. Thanks to my boy over here. We're going to be working on some new things with my website. So once we have that, I'm not going to say the name of the website yet, but I do have those domains ready. We can go ahead and let you know, maybe plug them in here, because maybe by then, when you launch this, the website name will be available. So you can also reach out there to get more information. So that's to be revealed.
And they can find you at Elevate?
And of course at Elevate, yeah. I'm usually at Elevate in the mornings throughout the week, and then some Saturdays as well. So
do you welcome stuff like that? If someone's like, I'm just going to go in person and see what's up. Do you welcome
yeah,
stuff
why
like
not?
that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Come to the gym, check it out. I mean, not just to train with me, but to check out the gym itself, because, I mean, it's just an awesome gym. As you know, you like it there too. It's great equipment, great people. The culture is awesome. There's CrossFit, there's strongman, there's powerlifting, there's FemFit, there's buns and guns.
You said CrossFit.
There's everything. Yeah, there's everything there. So I highly encourage people to go in person and try it out, check it out.
And do your 90-90.
Like
and do your 90-90 hips.
90-90 hip stretches, yeah.
That one,
hip mobility.
That one got added to the bag.
Oh yeah, and that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted from the boot camp. So I'm happy that you took that and you remember.
Yeah,
all of your
remember the name.
stretches.
Scorpions too.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sore.
Did I send you the photos of you or not yet?
Nah, not yet.
Oh, I need to send them to you. I have a couple of you too. I think I have one of us. Like I'm showing how to do a specific movement.
Okay.
And you're taking notes. I saw you. You're
Yeah,
very
no,
serious.
Legit.
Watching me.
Like it's just good to know some like new, fresh ways to exercise.
Yeah.
Just in general,
And I love
Stretches.
teaching. I love teaching that stuff. I love being the one that has shown you new movements, and you can say, "Yeah, Jovy taught me that." It makes me feel good.
Jovy, thank you so much for joining us at the HQ.
Yes, thanks for having me.
We know that your time is precious as always.
As is yours.
So we appreciate you taking some time out your day,
Thanks.
especially so close to the holiday.
Of course.
I wish you a very good New Year's, safe with your
Thank
family
you.
and your loved ones, your mans,
Oh,
your
thank
doggies.
you too, my fat wiener.
And that's how it goes, man. You know how it is over here at the stew, live at MFHQ. Evan, one half MF Pearl, David behind the cameras, making sure that we rolling. And we'll be back at another episode. We'll see y'all soon, all right?
Bye.